Good morning, you all. Hope you guys are having a great morning. I wanted to get on here and talk about forward moving and, not letting distractions get in the way of things. A lot of times distractions come when you are building, when you're doing what God is telling you to do. It will be a lot of distractions. And I'm the type of person, like, I pick up on energy like quick. I pick up on energy so quick. So sometimes I have to revert, take a break, step back. I'm like an introvert and extrovert in certain ways. Like, I always have to go back and recoup, get in the presence of God. And that's what God likes us to do, is go back, replenish our energy. Ultimately, you don't want to get distracted. You want to continue doing what God is telling you to do, if that's school or however, if he's telling you to move forward in, a certain type of business, however he's telling you to do, distractions will come, especially when God's hand is on it, But when you have clarity, because when you seek God, seek ye first the kingdom, all things are added on to you. So you start to get clarity on things. You start to get clarity on your path. You start to be able to fulfill, your purpose, with God. And, it almost, when you're like that, you're like hyper focused and you're just, focused on what God is telling you to do. Focus on obedience. And sometimes I'm a little shy, to be honest. Like, God be having to be like, okay, daughter, go push me. Cause I'll be like, I think I'm gonna sit this one out, but no, like, when you're like that and your high distractions come in, it almost makes you, because you are focused on, God, what God is telling you to do, it's almost like you become a mystery. You're a mystery. So it's like people can't figure you out, sometimes. And sometimes that's on purpose. God does that for a reason. Ultimately, it's about continuously moving forward, and continuously pushing through the obstacles. Look at Nehemiah. He had opposition come, but he still built the wall. He still continued to do what God was telling him to do. And then ultimately also, David, if you remember David and Saul, David had opposition even from his own family, and he continued to move forward. He continued to strive to be better, so he had his flaws, but he was a man after God's own heart. So, ultimately God seen favor in him. But, that's what you have to do. You have to just continue to push, continue to, seek God, and continue to move forward in life. But okay, you guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to y'all soon. All right, bye.